Oh, don't you like it? You're gonna live, child. Yo, so really try to relax your mind. Clear out thoughts now, take your time, girl. I know that fear can come to you, so you gotta do whatever you gotta do. Oh no, now here we go again. Get ready, my friend. You're gonna lose it. Hey, you're gonna lose it. Weather. Oh, don't you love it? I'm gonna say weather. Oh, don't you love it? You're gonna live, child. So the devil is walking and talking out the no, not today. You're gonna slip on your he must have lost his way. He must have lost his way. Stupid, devil. Oh, don't you love it? I'm gonna say weather. Oh, don't you love it? You're gonna lose, child.
Some sweet release right here on the Tony Jones Show. Whether or not, the name of that one, the sweet release. Following in the footsteps, George, of our own Tony Jones and the Cretan 3. They are this year's 90.7 WXIN Rhode Island College Rock Hunt reigning champions. Of course, in just a few months' time, it'll be Rock Hunt. I'm always careful with that word.
Yes,
It'll
ever
be Rock
since that hate
Hunt
mail, ever since that hate mail maelstrom, the night you had a cold.
That you have to be careful saying the word Rock Hunt. That's very careful. I had some nasty grams come in regarding my pronunciation of the word
I'd
rock.
say that was the worst firestorm that you've ever been involved in. I think that created more of an uproar than that cold-induced mispronunciation induced more of a firestorm than anyone's political views on the show. Anything
on terrestrial radio, I referred to Eva Mancuso, who I won't get too far into this, who was in charge of the education department at the time, as a very handsome woman, and I got a lot of hate mail making fun of her appearance. Not that I am someone who should be making fun of anybody's freaking appearance.
In other words, you complimented the woman.
I honestly meant it, and
right.
I was accused of making fun of her appearance, and that was almost as big as a firestorm as at the time I mispronounced Rock Hunt. But I digress.
Well, but let's clear this up, though. We have a problem here with word usage.
Yeah.
Handsome these days, now I agree with you. If you look back a few decades, handsome equally applied to men and women. You know, a handsome woman means she carries herself well,
right.
She's attractive. I don't know. I think the problem that you ran into was that handsome nowadays seems to refer almost exclusively to men.
Yeah, it's masculine.
It's
Right.
masculine gender, yeah.
But I am constantly, as you know, trying to bring back old words. Like the word smut, for instance.
Well, smut has a chance.
I have recently started calling people Mac. How's it going, Mac? I want to bring the word Mac back. And, this is when you're obsessed with communication, as I am, as you are as a writer, these things weigh on you for some reason.
They do. I mean, there are many old school words that aren't used anymore that I would like to see come back. But, yeah, I think handsome we should let rest in the graveyard for a little while.
I learned my lesson. I will not refer to women as being very handsome women anymore.
You might get away with that with Caitlyn Jenner, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is a handsome woman for sure. I'm here with George Garner. I'm here with Seth from Seth's Rock Report. And you were talking about alternative media, talking about kind of what brought us into this. So, Seth, how did you first become a rock and roll fan, and how did you want to be involved in the blogging side of covering that?
Well, that's a long history there. I started out with my gateway band, which was Kiss. Still am a fan. That lead me, listening to Kiss and then finding out who opened for them, and then as you read the magazines, you learned about other bands. So that was kind of my gateway in to rock and roll, because you went Kiss, Aerosmith, Ted Nugent was huge back when I was younger. And then as I grew up and went through, there was a way I wanted to meet Kiss. So instead of doing the old Kiss Army fan mail, I came up with some other friends. We came up with a Kiss fanzine, and then that turned into getting access to the band, and I met the band and other bands through that. And then I became a groupie in the 80s, kind of following all different bands. I met Motley Crue and Rat. I would follow them all over the place from here to New York. Check out, whatever they did, I followed. It was a big thing. It was great to be a fan up through the 80s.
So you met the original Kiss?
Yes, I have.
We're going to have a conversation after the show. We can't have it right now because the Kiss divide runs deep.
Kiss, one of the most polarizing bands in the history of rock and roll.
This is about Tommy and Eric wearing makeup from Peter and Ace. I'm sure that's the division.
Well, no, just Kiss sucks. Kiss is a great band. That basic division in music since the beginning.
Trust me, growing up through high school and going through the fist fight phase and everything about you being an admitted Kiss fan was something. But I think over time, it's been kind to them. Time has been kind. Time kind of forgets the Kiss foolishness and excesses. Yeah, I think they're it's hard to follow some of the things they say because, on one hand, you got Gene saying that they should make a new record, and Paul's like, no, we don't need to make a new record. And maybe
they did, though. That was, I think, like I say, I don't know them personally, but I think the problem there was that Paul Stanley wasn't willing to make a Kiss album unless, in his words, he had Gene Simmons back. In other words, not the idiot that was on the reality TV show, but he wanted, the demonic persona back if he was going to make an album.
He jumped out, too. He was doing Hollywood, and he was doing all these other side projects, and most of the 80s records were Paul Stanley solo records.
But they made Sonic Boom after Gene Simmons kind of.
That was a good record, in my opinion.
No, it was. It was back to the original sound somewhat, that's what was lacking.
Yeah. Monster was okay, but not as good as Sonic.
Right. Okay, Tony, you better ask a question here. We're just going to take this and run with it.
I think this could turn into an actual Kiss show, which there's plenty of them out there from the days of cable access to being parodied on Family Guy.
That late lamented Kiss Access show. Yes, that was.
That didn't help being a fan at all.
Especially the best point in that show is when public access was still taking live calls and shows were produced live, and people would just for the whole hour prank call the program.
And got away with it.
And filthy things were being said on the air because this was before the days of a 7-second delay.
Right.
But then on the other side of that, our friends from Monster Mini Golf now have moved out to Las Vegas, and she works for Gene Simmons now. So talk about the ultimate fan experience from going from being a fan to being on Gene Simmons' payroll.
Yeah, they have a Kiss Mini Golf there.
Yeah.
They also have a Kiss limousine service.
By the way, what happened to that? And I thought it was an abortion of an idea from the beginning, that show that they tried to launch, the Kiss Football League, the Kiss.
They still have Kiss Arena Football. The
Kiss Arena
LA
Football.
Kiss still
does that still exist?
That still exists, and they have their own little. I mean, if you were in LA and for $99, you get a free Kiss show and a bunch of opening acts. They've had Steel Panther open. They have a lot of rock stars come through. So it's not a bad gig for $99.
But they're still doing the Football League thing.
Yes, they're still in it. They haven't won anything.
I was going to say, because now, is that reality TV show still on the air?
I think it is, but I haven't watched it.
I watched a couple episodes of it and kind of lost interest, and I thought it disappeared.
Well, no, they still push their bravado, but after 2 seasons of not winning anything,
it's kind of like watching Rex Ryan coach a team and run his mouth and not win anything.
Our friends from V played the Kiss Cruise. I heard that was a good time.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
actually, every year people want to be on it, but
No, like you said, Kiss has outlived their own foolishness and missteps, and they've outlived their detractors mostly.
Yes.
It's all about consistency, right?
Actually, Kiss was anything but consistent. I'll tell you, the award for consistency goes to probably Def Leppard.
I was going to say AC/DC.
Yeah,
AC/DC
AC/DC.
too.
I was going to
Yeah.
go AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason I said Def Leppard is because Def Leppard was big in the '80s. Then they sank into obscurity kind of for a while, but they never stopped making their music, and in other words, and they've always appealed to their fan base. So in other words, it went under the radar a little bit, but they were consistent when there wasn't a big audience supporting them either. So that's to me, they get an award for consistency. AC/DC has been consistent, but I don't know what you say, their trajectory has just stayed up, hasn't it?
They've gotten bigger. Even
Right.
I mean, they were big with Bon Scott, and then once Back in Black came out, that put them at a whole new level. I mean, they're coming around selling out stadiums. I mean, to me, they're just selling out stadiums because there's no more Led Zeppelin, there's no more of the bands that were better than them.
And AC/DC
So-
attracts a fair amount of attractive young women, and where the attractive young women go, the men
Not
folk
so
go.
attractive men will go, yes.
I think the only person that or band you could probably pass that baton to right now would be the Foo Fighters. I mean, the Foo Fighters selling out 2 nights at Fenway over here if we're keeping it local. But I mean,
of consistency, doing what they're doing.
And still playing a show with a broken leg. I've seen bands locally who eat some bad Taco Bell and cancel their tour, or it's their night to sleep on the floor in a hotel room and they go home.
on top he gives Grohl and the band give 100% the whole show, and,
Right.
and they do a plus 2 hours, which is a whole other
Yeah.
topic for bands not getting their fans their money's worth with less than an hour show or barely an hour show.
I'll tell you, my award for Above and Beyond, though, as far as dealing with adversity, had to be the metal band Behemoth. When I saw them on tour, yep, and that was the night I purchased this hoodie with Behemoth's insignia on it, because Behemoth was on tour, performing in top form 6 months after Nurgle received a full bone marrow transplant.
Wow.
I mean, so yes, Tony, like you said, yeah. So the people eating bad tacos, yeah. So yeah, 6 months after a complete bone marrow transplant, still, hairless, he was up there jamming.
Wow, that's amazing.
For a full hour.
So we're going to get back to a little bit of music. Unfortunately, we're starting to run out of time, but I do want to get a few more tunes in. So we'll go back to the local music now. Here's Morris and the East Coast, Mon Pitia, right here on the Tony Jones Show.
Mon Pepita, down on the corner, matching riches.